As South Africa transitioned to a democracy in 1994 and the regional geopolitical climate stabilized, the country's military priorities shifted dramatically. Rather than maintaining large fleets of main battle tanks, the focus turned towards deploying lighter, more agile air-transportable vehicles suited for United Nations and African Union peacekeeping missions. Reflecting this new strategic direction, the South African defence industry moved away from the production of new, experimental MBTs, instead concentrating on supporting, upgrading, and sustaining existing armour capabilities. One of the key outcomes of this effort was the development of the Olifant Mk2, the final and most advanced evolution of South Africa's venerable main battle tank. In the mid-1990s, the South African National Defence Force, the SANDF, began exploring options to replace its aging Olifant Mk1A fleet, evaluating modern tanks such as the French AMX-56 Leclerc and the British Challenger 2E. The initial plans called for the acquisition of 96 new main battle tanks along with the support vehicles. However, shifting political and financial priorities led the South African government to redirect focus towards modernizing the Navy and Air Force instead. As a result, the SANDF continued operating the older Olifant tanks while seeking a viable alternative. Besides the older Mk1As, 44 Olifant Mk1Bs were available, tanks that, while offering sufficient frontal protection against heat rounds fired from the T-62's 150mm gun, remained vulnerable to the more powerful 125mm rounds of the T-72M. To bridge this gap and address additional shortcomings, the Armaments Corporation of South Africa, Armscor, Littleton Engineering Works (LEW), and Denel launched a new initiative in the late 1990s called Optimering, translated as optimization. The goal was to upgrade the Olifant Mk1B's capabilities significantly, ensuring it could effectively counter modern threats like the T-72M. A key element of this effort was the development of two advanced turrets, known as the Olifant 2 combat turrets. The Olifant 2 turrets, developed until the early 2000s, represented a significant technological leap compared to the old design. The first Olifant 2 turret variant was reminiscent of the TTD turret, which had a flat frontal profile, while the second turret variant had a striking resemblance to the Leopard 2A5 with its sharp frontal features. The latter was mounted on an Olifant Mk1B chassis and designated Optimering. It featured 1650mm of protection at certain frontal angles, achieved through a composite armor package. It was designed to withstand the 125mm APFSDS rounds fired by the T-72M. The turret featured a state-of-the-art hunter-killer targeting, fire on the move, and night fighting capabilities, all of which drastically improved the combat effectiveness of the tank. A bustle-mounted carousel and blow-off panels for safety-optimized ammunition storage. The crew compartment also featured an air conditioning unit which helped improve the endurance and comfort of the crew. The turret could be equipped either with the LIW GT8 105mm gun or the LIW 120mm smoothbore gun. The gunner's position was equipped with a stabilized day thermal sight incorporating a laser rangefinder, while the commander benefited from an independent panoramic stabilized day passive night sight. The turret's full solution fire control system integrated automatic sensors for meteorological conditions, dynamic tilt, and a sophisticated gun drive system, ensuring high accuracy even on the move. The gun and the sights were stabilized and featured incidental firing, which meant that the gun would fire only when the gun and sight aligned, dramatically increasing accuracy while on the move. Although the Olifant 2 combat turret showed immense potential, several factors led to its cancellation. The first was the chance of a shot trapping, which could result if a round deflected from the narrow front of the turret downwards into the hull. Also of concern was that the extensive armor package made it impossible for the driver to climb out in case of an emergency if the turret was pointing forward. Despite the turret's impressive performance and capability to engage modern threats, the project was eventually shelved. However, the lessons and technologies gained during its development were not wasted. Both the Optimering and the first Olifant 2 turret variant can be found at the SA Armour Museum in Bloemfontein. Key components from the Optimering Olifant 2 turret, such as its advanced fire control system, were incorporated into a scaled-down upgrade of the Olifant Mk2, led by the OMC. This resulted in the creation of the Olifant Mk2, which featured a more powerful 1050 horsepower engine, an improved fire control system with hunter-killer capabilities, and significant upgrades to the overall combat performance of the vehicle. While the Olifant Mk2 retained external similarities to the Mk2, the improvements established the Mk2 as one of the most formidable MBTs in Southern Africa, effectively extending the operational life of the Olifant platform in the absence of new tank acquisitions. Although the African battle space favors wheeled vehicles, the Olifant Mk2 maintains its role as a force multiplier. The vehicle retained the Mk2's 29-litre V12 diesel engine, but enhancements increased performance to 1050 horsepower, raising the power-to-weight ratio from 14.4 to 17.19 horsepower per ton, despite a slight increase in weight. The Mk2 also kept the Mk2's automatic transmission, the Armour 3, and torsion bar suspension, allowing it to match the Mk2's top speed of 58 km an hour, but with 25% quicker acceleration and improved off-road mobility, making it less taxing to drive over rough terrain. The Olifant Mk2 is capable of fording 1.5 meters of water without preparation. The Mk2's fuel capacity was reduced from 1,382 litres to only 1,285, yet its range remained unchanged at 360 km on-road and 260 km off-road. The engine and compartment size were preserved from the Mk2, while also retaining the same road wheels and track links. Armed with a 7.62mm coaxial machine gun, the Mk2 carries 6,600 rounds and features noise reduction and other improvements with its tactical radio communication, further enhancing situational awareness. The Mk2 retains the Mk2's 2 internal drinking water tanks with a 101-litre capacity, accessible from within the turret, and it also features a fume extractor to clear excess fumes. The Olifant Mk2, like its predecessor the Mk2, is operated by a crew of 4, the commander, the gunner, the loader, and of course the driver. The Mk2's interior layout was refined to enhance ergonomics and reduce crew fatigue. The commander station, located on the right side of the turret, includes a redesigned cupola with 6 vision blocks, providing a 360-degree field of view. It also features a digital screen linking to the gunner's sight and includes a removable commander's observation platform or COP with second-generation thermal imaging, a distinctive feature of the Mk2. The commander station serves as the primary entry and exit point for both the commander and the loader, who also have an additional escape hatch. The gunner's station, positioned below and in front of the commander station, offers enhanced day-night capabilities on a digital screen. The loader, stationed on the left side of the turret, benefits from improved comfort and situational awareness, aided by multiple periscopes and a personal escape hatch. The driver's station includes another digital panel and a yoke-type steering stick. The Olifant Mk2 turret armor package retained the same shape and form as that found on the Mk2, but features upgraded modern Nera elements, which provided additional protection to its crew. Unsurprisingly, the composition of Nera is classified. An improved fire suppression system and double armored floor offer additional protection against landmines. The smoke grenade launcher, located to the rear of the turret, was retained to prevent damage while driving through thick bush. The Mk2 also retained the Mk2's capability to lay down a smoke screen through the engine exhaust. Additional features carried over from the Mk2 armored headlamps and a V-shaped bush basher bar on the front of the glacis. The Mk2 is fitted with the South African-made 105mm GT3B rifled gun, equipped with a thermal sleeve and fume extractor for improved accuracy. The gun can fire 4 types of rounds: HESH and white phosphorus rounds with a 7.5 km range, a high explosive round with a similar range, and an APF-SDS round capable of penetrating 430mm of rolled homogeneous armor with an effective range of 3 km. Safety in the fighting compartment was improved, with 64 main gun rounds stored in protected bins. The Mk1B's extended turret bustle provided additional space and balanced weight, reducing strain on the new solid-state gun control system and allowing a full turret rotation of 16 seconds at 22.5 degrees per second. The Mk2 is equipped with a fully integrated fire control system that enables the gunner or commander to lock onto a target, activating an auto-tracking feature that keeps the main gun aimed while the tank moves. The gunner uses a digital display linked to an integrated ballistic computer which receives data from a laser rangefinder accurate up to 10 km. The system ensures precise targeting, accurate within 30mm at 2 km, making it ideal for the open terrain of the South African Lowveld. The Mk2 also features a hunter-killer capability, allowing the commander and gunner to independently search for engaged targets, increasing the chances of striking first. The commander can override the gunner's aim with a switch to bring the main cannon on target. A well-trained crew can laze the target, load and fire the main cannon every 8 seconds. A total number of 26 Mk2s were built starting in 2005, with 4 used for training at the School of Armour in Tempe and an undisclosed number stationed at the Army Battle School in Luhatla. The Olifant Mk2 represents a significant enhancement over the Mk1B, incorporating a hunter-killer capability and a more powerful engine that improves both mobility and firepower. As the culmination of tank technology development in Southern Africa, the Olifant Mk2 continues to serve as a deterrent against regional external threats. However, with the Olifant fleet now approaching 55 years old, the high operational and maintenance costs make it increasingly difficult to justify their continued use, and so the fleet is set to be replaced by a new MBT in future through Project Aorta. So, what's your opinion on the South African top of the 3 tank? Which vehicle should they replace the Mk2 with, and which vehicle would you like to see us cover next? Let us know in the comments below. If you haven't done so already, we invite you to subscribe to stay updated on future content. If you'd like to contribute further, consider supporting us on Patreon and PayPal. We want to especially thank our medium and heavy tank Patreon supporters: Alex Harvey, Dan Fitzpatrick, Dave Shufford, Leslie Halkauer, Michael Herman, Owen M, Peter Bradbury, and Wolfhund. Your generous contributions help fund our research, illustrations, and video production. As for myself, if you like the narration, you can find a link to my channel Hyping Hero, where I look on how accurate tanks are portrayed in gaming. Until next time, keep us in your sights.